Okay, okay. Crazy. Crazy, right? We just went from a Seymour Duncan humbucker to a Tele bridge pickup to an EMG active, all in the same slot, on the fly, with no issues. What the heck are we even doing here? Welcome to 2022. Let me show you this guitar. So welcome to the Insomnium guitar, made in North Florida, actually, in the United States. We'll get into the details of it all in just a moment. But this thing is really, really ridiculous. The long and the short of it is, this is the most advanced, well-developed, and generally the best executed hot pickup swap situation that I have ever seen. And I've seen a lot of these at a lot of NAMM shows and a lot of trade shows and stuff. And I will tell you that at the Summer NAMM Show 2021, like the bogus one during COVID, I walked by this and I saw it and I said, and I just kept walking, honestly. And Leslie actually said, "Did you see those guitars over there with the swappy pickups?" And I said, "Yeah, those things are stupid." And she said, "Yeah, I know, but you should really go take another look." Well, I did, and they are very cool. And then a few months later, Mark from Insomnium sent me an email and said, actually, he didn't remember me or anything, no big deal, just random sent me an email and said, "Would you like to review one of our guitars?" And I said, "Yes, actually I would, because these are a very cool idea." So he sent me one. We should say that he gave me this guitar to review, and he told me, if you like it and you think you will use it on the channel for more than just, one review, if you think you'll make use of it, because I make pickups, then I'll let you have it if you make a review. And I said, okay. He said, if you don't like the guitar, just don't say anything about it and send it back. And I said, okay. So this isn't actually a sponsored video. He did not pay me to make this video. He has not told me what to say in the video or anything like that. He's giving me specs on the guitar and stuff. But other than just, here, take it, do some cool things with it, he gave me the guitar. So here we are. We've made a rule around here that I don't make a video about stuff I don't like. If I don't like it or I think it's stupid, I just don't make a video about it, because that doesn't help anybody. So I do like this guitar. I am keeping it. And let's go over some of the insanity that is so cool about this guitar, because you may have some questions. So let's take a quick tour of the Insomnium guitar. So let's cover regular guitar stuff first, which the list won't be very long. Let's talk about the fact that this thing is 100% made in the United States. It's got EMG controls in it. So when you take off this back cover, there would be EMG pots in here and some other circuitry that we'll get to. So wherever that stuff is made is that. But everything else is made in the United States. Hip shot bridge, hip shot open gear tuners, which we love. The neck is made by a company here in the United States. This particular one is and it's made by a small builder. I don't know if I want to say who it is. I know who it is. They're really, really good. I have used their stuff before. It is fantastic. It's not Wormuth. It's not, any of those. It's actually a dude with a CNC machine and a really good eye to make stuff. So this is really good stuff. This particular neck is a really pretty figured kind of wood, figured maple, with a rosewood fretboard, and then stainless steel frets. So they put stainless steel frets on everything. This is about like a Slim C Fender kind of profile, but you can get their guitars in different profiles. So, like a Wizard or, any other kind of stuff like that. You can talk to them about speccing it that way. The alder body is, now this one's been shock treated. Everything else is made in-house at Insomnium in North Florida. The bodies are cut there from scratch. They have a wood shop as well as a machine shop in-house. So all the parts, all the wood, all the everything is made in-house. This particular one is alder. This guitar, if you take the pickups out of it, it weighs about 6.5 pounds, and with two humbucker, or well, with these pickups in it, I just weighed it, and it was just under 7.5 pounds. So it's not heavy, and it's really nicely balanced. It's great. Now, let's talk about the magic that is this pickup swapping system. Basically, what this is it's a squeezy thing that releases like this, okay? So we'll just take both pickups out. And I'll show you in a minute these kind of things and what's inside, etc. Pretty cool stuff. Now what we have here is this aluminum ring that is machined in-house there at Insomnium with these little contact points where the pickups contact. And this aluminum piece is machined so that it goes up into the neck pocket. This is one piece of aluminum that goes up into the neck pocket. If I was to take this neck off, you would be able to see an aluminum, it kind of goes up in there. And then this thing is bolted into the guitar. The bridge is in wood, the neck and the body are wood, but everything is tied all together. This is a really, really cool system. The guitar comes pre-wired for a bunch of different combinations. You notice that it has a 9-volt battery. And you notice that in the intro that I was able to put an EMG pickup in it. We had an EMG sitting right here somewhere. Yeah, I don't know where'd it go. There it is. EMG pickup. We could just pop that right in the guitar in the neck or bridge position. It doesn't matter. And the internal setup on the guitar runs 2 different circuits so that you could run actives or passives in any position and swap them around at your leisure. No big deal at all. When it does that, it messes with the pot resistance so that you're able to do what you need to do there, because you know EMGs take a 25K pot versus a 250 or a 500K pot. So he's done some internal wizardry there so that the resistance actually runs on 2 different circuits within the same guitar. Very, very cool. Now, the other thing that's cool about this guitar is in a situation where, let's say you would have 3 pickups in a guitar. So there's no pickups in here right now, but this is a 3 pickup setup. So we have a humbucker, single hum. Okay, so we would put 3 pickups in the guitar. We only have a 3-way switch here. But this is one of those freeway switches. So you've got neck, middle, and bridge, but then you just flip it over into low range right there, and you've got 3 more positions, and it gives you, with having a simple 3-way switch, it gives you enough to do what you need to do here. Also, the guitar, this particular guitar, has a coil split wired into it, so you're able to coil split humbuckers and etc. Now, how do you pull all of this stuff off? Let me show you a bit of a close-up of the cartridge that goes in here, and so you can kind of get an idea how this works. All right, so we've got a couple of different cartridges here. This one, we've got the Telecaster bridge pickup. We tried that in the beginning. We've got a P90 here. Now they're all machined for this. We've got a humbucker here, but this particular one has an EMG in it, which is pretty cool. And you'll see that on the other side of there is like a contact point where that mates up with the contact that I showed you in the guitar. Now, I've got this one more or less disassembled. Let me show you what's in here. So when we pull this cover off, you're going to see that the mechanism for the clasping system is enclosed. So you don't need to worry about anything falling apart. You don't need to worry about any pieces coming out. It's all super well designed. Now what we have in here is that circuit board, which is basically just a contact board. And then there's a screw terminal here that is pin soldered. This is actually through soldered into this board, so it's really robust actually. And then you've got a little screwdriver that comes in the kit that will actually tighten down your various screws to the various terminals. Now what we've got here is a Seymour Duncan humbucker. So any basic humbucker setup can fit in here. Now what if you have an EMG? Well, there'll be a piece of paper in the directions with the guitar, and you'll be able to choose which one of these pins. You use different pins on this depending on the setup. So let's say you have this humbucker and you wanted to coil split it. You would hook it up to a certain way. If you had a single coil like this, you would hook it up a certain way. If you had an EMG, there would be a way that you could access the 9-volt battery that we showed you earlier. So depending on which pickup you put in there, it will run a different circuit in the guitar that's already been pre-wired, so that it will do whatever you want it to do on demand as soon as you put it in. Now with their factory setup here, this came with the kit this way, and you'll see that the pigtail on the pickup is very short. But in their directions, they say, if you bought a new pickup and you're just trying it out, don't cut this off. Let the 12 inches or so that comes on a pickup just wrap up in there and put it back together and let it live in there. Because what if you don't like the pickup? What if you wanted to change it out? Then it wouldn't get tangled up in the guitar. Everything would be totally fine. And then you just put these 4 screws back on and you're ready to go. There's no soldering, there's no fiddling around. The next thing you know, we're playing guitar. So now let me show you a little more in depth what's going on inside the guitar. So this is where we showed you earlier, this aluminum ring. Now he mentioned that the pins that come in and out of here, if there was just aluminum on aluminum, would wear. So they've pressed in bushings so that this would not wear out. This will be a kind of a forever wearing thing. And their experience in motorcycle technology tells me that their engineering to do this is going to be just fine. It's not going to wear out. There's going to be a bunch of guitar players that get in the comments and be like, yeah, what if, what if, what if? Well, let me tell you what. I asked him a bunch of what ifs and he'd already thought of them all. He is really, really on top of this. This aluminum string block that's in here, he actually machines this in-house. All of this stuff, here's the contact points, very reliable system for getting it apart and putting it back together. It doesn't pop and crack when you take it apart. Even this back panel, made in-house. This piece, made in-house. Everything made in-house there in North Florida. It's really, really a cool setup. So, overall, what a cool system. Not to mention that the guitar itself is really a high quality instrument. So many of these things, like I mentioned in the beginning, I have seen that were just so gimmicky and kind of like, I don't know. And I just walked right past them. This is the first one that I've ever seen that was probably worth owning. So here's a couple of questions. Who would even use this thing? Well, obviously I'm going to use it because we are going to do some really fun experiments with pickups. We're going to do some quick change stuff. I want to do an experiment where we put a Tele bridge pickup, which we have right here, in the neck position of the guitar instead of the bridge position. But I want to use one of mine because I don't really like this one. We are going to do some humbucker comparisons, like our center punch versus our DAF versus our Super 8. We're going to be able to just swap them around in neck and bridge positions and be able to do all that kind of stuff. It's going to be super fun. I also want to do kind of one of those mythbustery things about magnet pull on the strings by being able to measure the signal with the pickup in there and then take the pickup out. Be kind of fun. Like, those are things that you can't do with a regular guitar. So that's just me, because this is like a what if kind of channel. But what about for a regular musician or a working musician? This guitar would be unbeatable live if you only wanted one guitar. Mark told me that they're actually engineering the hardshell case that this comes with to be able to have some different cartridges in it. So if you have them sitting at your feet or whatever and they're durable, you could just set them down there by your pedal board, and if you were going to change between songs, you could just swap out pickups and do whatever you wanted to do. Literally that easy. Easier than a pedal, easier than a tuning change, easier than anything. Just super in and out. In the studio, phenomenal. He's got a few artists that have purchased these guitars for studio use because they can bring everything with them in one guitar. And I know what you're thinking. I know you're thinking, yeah, well, does it really sound like blah, blah, blah? Does it really sound like a Tele? Does it really sound like a whatever? Because tone wood and aluminum and whatever. You could argue all day long for or against this system. However, it's pointless to argue about it. It's pointless to worry about what it sounds like because the functionality and the tool that this thing is far surpasses any argument. That's why we're not going to sit here and just be like, does it really sound like a Tele or whatever with all of these pickups? Because it doesn't matter. Whatever pickups you use, whatever pickups you put in here, you will be able to create sounds and combinations that you could not create with another guitar. End of story. This is really, really cool. Oh, I should mention I think it's 25.5-inch scale. So this is a tool. This is a tool for people that want to play multiple guitars in one. You don't have to get a finish like this. You could get some other kind of finish. You could get a painted finish. They actually powder coat, anodize, and paint everything in-house. So call them up, tell them what you want, and then you've got an instrument that you could use for just about anything. And then these cartridge collections are expandable. So depending on what you order the guitar with, you can actually go ahead and get more of them for various things. So over the next few months, you are going to see this guitar a bunch in my videos because me being a pickup guy, this is going to be an invaluable tool for me. So like I said, you're going to see it. We're going to do some stuff. I've got actually an experimental set of Strat pickups right here that you are going to hear very soon. I'm working on an interesting thing with a humbucker that you're going to see very soon. We've got a bunch of stuff, and we've got some new products out that we don't have demos for yet, which is this guitar is going to be a fantastic tool for that as well. So if you're interested in this, look in the links below. I'll make sure that there is a link to Insomnium guitars. If you have any questions about it, make sure you reach out to them. The dudes there are super, super cool. They make motorbike stuff and they make guitar stuff. My two favorite things in the world. So I know that these are cool dudes. We actually went to the shop a few weeks ago when we were in Florida, stopped in, saw them. I'm gonna probably try to make it down there again and do like a proper shop tour, like walk around and show you how these things are made, because it's pretty spectacular. The engineering and thought and years of messing around and engineering and thought and messing around that has gone into these guitars over and over again. So I wanted to share this with you. Thanks, Mark, for sending me this guitar to let me play with it. We are definitely going to make some good use of it around here. And if you hit the subscribe button and the like button and the little bell next to it, you won't miss any of it. Make sure you check out our podcast on Tuesdays. Available on every podcast platform, pretty much all the major ones. There are video versions on Spotify and on YouTube. Also, we have news on Wednesday, we have our live stream on Thursday, and these kind of videos on Monday. Thanks for hanging out, and we'll see you next time.